We had a wonderful couple of weeks on board a beautiful ship out in the middle of the ocean, Australia and New Zealand, and the conversation of that workshop gathering very quickly came around to the subject of deconstructing of thought. Now, we think that's interesting because the only reason that so much deconstruction was necessary is because there's so much bogus construction that had already taken place. In other words, you don't have to deconstruct something. You don't have to haul stuff away from the job site if you haven't hauled it there to begin with. But most of you, this is not your first day on the planet. And it's not your first day of conversation or thinking. And it certainly is not your first day of attraction. Tomorrow, however, is going to be pretty much like today, because you have patterns of thought that, even though we are going to brilliantly explain all of this here to you today, and in most cases you're going to brilliantly understand it because we're going to weave a web of understanding here. There's going to be a vibrational connection where you are going to get what we say you already are. But you're not going to change your thought patterns instantaneously. You didn't develop your pattern of thought immediately, and you're not going to change your pattern of thought immediately. And there are many things that you think that you don't want to change anyway. But what we want to draw your attention to, especially as we are beginning here this morning, we want to remind you that you are the creator of your experience, and you do so through the patterns of your thought, by the things that you give your attention to. And when you catch yourself in conversation about things that you clearly know you do not mean to be bringing to the job site, that's a time for you to stop and laugh and say, what am I doing here? I'm setting myself up for the necessity of a bunch of deconstruction of thought, all of which is going to take a lot of time. Why construct something that later I'm only going to want to deconstruct? Why not start today building it the way I want to build it? And what we want you to understand is that you have within you immediate guidance. You have access to it right now that will feed back to you in the form of emotion what things you're bringing to the job site that you want to keep and what things that you aren't, so that you could stop it in the moment if you're sensitive to the way that you feel. And it won't take very many days of deliberately thinking thoughts in the direction of what you're wanting before you begin to tune yourself to a new vibrational frequency. But here's the thing that makes that tricky for you. You mean well, you're trying hard, but this is what makes that a difficult thing. Your awareness of what surrounds you in all of its manifested beauty and magnificence and diversity, your attention to all of those things activates them. There are two ways that you can look at creating. You can realize that there's a lot to choose from, and there are so many who are vying for your attention to choose. When you turn on the television, if you do, because it comes at you so heavily and so fast and with such intensity, all of these things you activate and bring to your job site whether you mean to or not. So the point that we're making, not just with television, not with any particular facet of your life experience, but there are two ways of looking at it. You can approach it from there's already a lot of stuff manifested, and I think I will look around at the manifested stuff, the manifested lives, the different relationships, the different methods of parenting, the different kinds of relationships, the different kinds of interpersonal relationships. Should you marry the people that you live with? Should you not marry the people that you live with? Should you spend a lot of time with a lot of different people? Should you spend time just with one person? Should you work if you are a mother? Should you stay at home if you are a mother? In other words, there are so many opinions. Should you join the services? Should you fight for your country? Should you fight for another country? Should you let people come across the border and work with you? So here's the point that we're making. As you look at all of this information that you believe you should consider and sort through and form opinions about, That's one way of going about it. Just lay it all out there, sort it all out, separate it into piles, get spokesmen to represent the piles, and then as a people of this planet, make your conclusions about the rightness and wrongness of life by sorting out all of those details. And we say, if we were standing in your physical shoes, our mantra would be, kill me now. Because there's too much to sort, and most of it has very little to do with who you are or where you are or what you want, but it is causing you to bring a lot of unnecessary materials to your job site. It's causing you to think about so many things and in the process activate so much vibration that without you even knowing it is precluding you, is separating you from, is preventing you from being the vibrational match to the things that you already know that you want. So that's one way of going about life. Look at everything that's out there, sort it all out in terms of what's right or wrong from your point of view, gather together in groups and really debate the issues, especially politically, please, especially politically. Debate those issues and see if you can figure out anything that any of them are saying. And see if you can figure out if any of them mean what they are saying or even believe what they are saying. In other words, it isn't just that there are materials that you could choose from. There are opinions on opinions on opinions on opinions on opinions, and how you ever sort all of that out. So there's that way of going about it. Or, through all that you've been living, you have been putting your rockets of desire into your vortex, and your inner being stands as the culmination of everything that you have synthesized from this life experience and before that you are and that you want. In other words, you can think your way into the creation of your life, or you can tune yourself vibrationally and let the powerful laws of the universe bring to you the precise ingredients that you have selected through a lot of experience over a lot of time to your job site. Can you feel the difference? In other words, when you allow yourself to release the resistance that is rampant in your vibration, you release your connectivity to so much of the glut of unnecessary, irrelevant, and unwanted materials coming to your job site. You don't have to work as hard as you've been working. Life should not be as difficult as the majority of humans upon the planet are making it. And we're here to tell you that the reason you are making it difficult is because you're going about it in a backwards way. You're saying, let's take everything that exists and let's consider it and form an opinion on it, and you get bogged down right in the middle of that. Jerry and Esther have teased one another incessantly over the years at what it's like on the day that they decide they're going to sort something. Let's sort out this room where we have been depositing things that we haven't wanted to deal with for a very long time. Esther made a little note and put it on the door that said, don't go in here, this room can hurt you. Because there's some of everything in that room. So it's been a funny thing to watch them make an effort to sort that room, because they go in with the intention of eliminating this from the room. We're going to throw it away, we're going to file it, or we're going to keep it. And we're going to do that in a very short order of time. And before they know it, they're bogged down reading the box of letters. And now it's been 12 hours and nothing has moved in the room. They're just bogged down in the glut of it's too overwhelming. It's too much to do. We've encouraged them to just nail the door shut and never go in that room again. Open another room and put more stuff in it like it. And when it's full, nail that one shut. Don't go back and try to sort it all out. And it's the same sort of thing that we're saying to you relative to all of these things that you're trying to think about. Rather than trying to sort them all out, wouldn't it be so much more beneficial? Wouldn't it be prudent? Wouldn't it be efficient to find a vibrational tone in your body that represents a vibrational point of attraction that will bring to you all and only things that are a vibrational match to that? Don't you want a concierge in the sky? Don't you want a point of attraction? Don't you want a sifting and sorting mechanism? Don't you want to live blissfully in your life? Don't you want to live in the most efficient way that you can? Don't you want the power, the energy that creates worlds to work on your behalf? We know you do, because you've tasted it here and there every now and again. So here's what we're getting at. If you will take the time to relax and allow the vibration that is at the core of you to be dominant. It always is dominant. However, what you're thinking in any moment in time equals your in this body, personal, physical, human point of attraction. So even though there's a vortex that is summoning to you all of the people, all of the circumstances, all of the thoughts, all of the ideas, all of the wonderful ingredients that will make for the most magnificent creations, even though all of it is there and it's all dominant for you, when you are thinking a thought in this red hot minute, what's active in your mind is active enough in your vibration that it becomes part of the mix and it confuses your point of attraction. In other words, if you want to be well and have wanted it for a while, and you've got a vortex spinning, and you do, and wellness and ideas about wellness and circumstances about wellness are being drawn to you, but you're watching television programs that are talking about all of the things that could go wrong with your body, so all of that is active within your vibration too, you can't hold the vibration of wellness and the vibration of illness at the same time. You're short-circuiting, and that's the thing that we want to lay out for you. We want you to begin to see that these thoughts are connecting with one another electronically. There are thought circuits, and the circuit that is the vortex that is spinning is a very powerful thing. But what you think and what you talk about in any point in time has a huge effect on how well you allow those circuits to be open, or, and here's really what we want to say to you, how well you are constructing other circuits that are leading you to other things that you do not want. It's such an interesting thing. So you watch a little bit of television and something, maybe it's a movie or an advertisement, but it's something that captivates your interest for a little bit of time. And as you focus there and think about it, you begin offering a vibration about it. It's not a strong vibration, but it is a vibration. It is a vibrational pattern. And law of attraction, we're not kidding you even a little bit, reaches out and connects that vibration with another. And then reaches out and connects that vibration with another. You are literally making thought pathways. You are literally constructing. Now, the thing that most of our physical friends are not aware of is how rapidly the construction of the thought waves translates into the manifestational construction. Have you ever been thinking about someone and the phone rings and there they are? That's evidence that there was a strong pattern of thought construction that was going on. Have you ever been driving down the freeway and had an impulse to do something, and when you did it, you saw immediate reason for having done it? That's that thought construction coming into manifestation immediately. We want to bring your attention to the swiftness of the syncing up of these thoughts. We don't want you to be afraid of your thoughts. We want you to be aware when you leave this room of the construction of thought waves that you are about. And we want to ease your awareness of these construction of thought waves by saying to you, you don't have to go about it the hard way. You don't have to figure all the thoughts out. You don't have to sort them into piles. And it never works when you say, that's a pile I'm not going to think about, because you're thinking about that pile while you've decided you're not going to think about it. We want to show you that the shortcut to it is this. You have put piece by piece thoughts, thought patterns, thought constructions into your vortex of creation. Do you know what your vortex is? Your vortex is the vibrational holding place for the best of all that you've synthesized through life. It's where the I know what I do want part of the equation goes when you know what you don't want. In other words, every time you sift and sort, there is a thought way that is carved out for you. It's what the evolution of all species is about. When you know what you don't want, a thought pattern of what you do want rockets out of you and is held in this vortex of creation by source energy, by your inner being.